This guy is known for going to Luke Walton's wedding, and as a Chelsea guy, he goes right to Stan Kroenke, the owner of Arsenal, and says, "Chelsea till I die." But you know him affectionately as a superstar for Gonzaga. He is now on their broadcast network as the color analyst, and he's got a great podcast, The Perimeter with Adam Morrison, which is done by Speakers or Speak Studios. And we are going to talk about that. I'm Bryan Fenley, an anchor at Fox Sports Radio. Adam, this is an honor, first of all, to have you on. I've looked up to you. I've followed your career so closely. When you have this speaking platform now, how cathartic is it, and in what ways are you able to express yourself in ways you hadn't in the past?
Well, I think it's different, obviously, from broadcast radio. You understand that with the compliance rules and not being able to swear and things like that. I just wanted to drop the curtain a little bit, especially from the Gonzaga angle, even though the show is not, specifically Gonzaga basketball, but early on, for the buzz, I wanted to drop the curtain a little bit for some of the guys who experienced the program. I had Coach Few on, kind of on his philosophy. So I got to be able to get stories and perspectives that they're not going to give to regular media guys, if that makes sense, especially being the Gonzaga angle. So that's been really cool. And then, for me personally, it's fun to just kind of chop it up with people and go over things that, are interesting stories and tales that are that need to be told of grinding that people don't really see. So, yeah, it's been pretty cool so far.
What do you think, as far as the perception you have from your
Mhm.
NBA and college basketball career, how that might have been different if you had this platform then as a chance to explain
Ooh,
yourself?
that's a good question. I think earlier, with the media lens, it was, narrated the way people wanted to narrate it or crafted the way they wanted to. But this allows me to, you know, I guess express myself as a broadcaster, then as a person of knowledge in basketball, if you want to say that. But yeah, I think that's some of that stuff has gone away a little bit. If with doing the Barstool stuff with PMT, I had Dan Katz on, my last episode. So I mean, things like that, I kind of get to tell the story of like, this is how it really went down, or this is how I really am. It's been nice in that regards, because some people are like, well, I didn't know you were, not trying to brag, but like thoughtful and incisive and whatever. And I'm like, always been like this, but whatever, man. Thanks.
It's like a backhanded compliment. When did you start getting more comfortable as far as the media and being empowered to use that platform and to be able to finally get to this position where you are now?
I think it's probably when I started broadcasting, and it just came out of the blue. They had a guy leave who took a job that is director of Hoop Fest. It's the largest 3-on-3 tournament in the country, and so it's a year-long process to get that tournament started. So they asked me to do it, and I never had any experience. I was like, yeah, I'll try it. Why not? And then slowly that stuff becomes more and more easy to deal with, being part of the media, I guess. And then you get comfortable around other people, and then having your own platform and own show, you can say whatever you want, which has been nice. Is I have to put an explicit warning on mine. They get going a little bit, but yeah, I think it's just over time, you kind of get more comfortable in your own skin, I guess is the best way to put it.
Adam Morrison is with us. I'm Bryan Fenley with Fox Sports Radio. You spoke about recently, I saw on Instagram, you were over in New York City at Barstool Sports.
Yeah.
What was it like meeting and having a conversation with Dave Portnoy?
I had a quick one with him. I just got a chance to, walk into his office, say what up to him. I was on the live stream for the Chelsea Arsenal game. So he was a nice guy. Everybody's cool at Barstool. They always have been. And then like I said, I did an episode with Dan Katz because we had a funny way of meeting each other about 5 years ago, and we've kept in touch ever since. I've been on PMT, I think 3 or 4 times, and so it was kind of a circle of life for podcasting. And he comes on my show, and it was kind of cool to interview him because he doesn't really get to be interviewed. He doesn't allow very many, and it's not just the PMT content. It was kind of his story and how he's made it and where he's got, he's gone from a freelance writer to what they are now at Barstool. So it was a fun experience.
When you think about the vision you have for yourself in your branding, Where do you think this can go, what you're doing? How far do you think you want to take this thing?
I've been asked that, and I just want to do one season and see how it goes. And if it goes well, it's all gravy. If not, I've had a good time talking to friends on a mic. You know what I mean? So that part's been pretty neat. As far as broadcasting, I like where I'm at with doing Gonzaga games. It's a lot of fun. I get to travel during the winter months and stuff like that. I'll probably stop doing it once my oldest daughter gets to high school, starts playing varsity basketball. So I have that in the back of my mind. That's 2 years away. Because I don't want to miss games and stuff like that. So I didn't start this to rebrand myself or try to turn this into something larger, I guess, if that makes sense. I just been lucky enough that Speak Studios gave me an opportunity. A guy just texted me, said, "Hey, do you want to do a show?" All right, check it out. And then so that's kind of where it's been going so far.
You spoke about your daughter. You're coaching her, if I'm not mistaken, Adam, AAU basketball. And so what is it like for you living vicariously through her?
Uh, I always tell her that, the name on the back of the jersey doesn't have to define who you are as a player. So I always want to make sure, especially in this area, like, hey, you could be your own player. Don't put pressure on yourself. And then it's kind of cool to because my dad coached me. So then I kind of have flashbacks of my dad saying the same things that I'm saying to her, and then watching her have the same reactions I did as a kid and trying to be like, hey, just trust me, I'm right. I know it's different to have your dad coach you. A lot of athletes have done that. It's hard to separate dad from coach, but it's been fantastic journey so far. We have a lot of fun. We have a good little team here, and committed girls that work hard, and we want to keep going and hopefully get them all an opportunity to play college basketball sometime.
What's the style in which you coach in compared to how you responded best to coaching as a player?
It's a good question. I think I try to build confidence, but also I'm demanding on correctable basketball behaviors. And what I mean by that is I'm not going to choose somebody out for missing shots, dribbling off their foot. But if, being in a stance, playing at a higher gear, playing faster constantly, you can always coach players to play hard. And I think playing hard is a skill. It sounds funny, but like continuously. I think the girls would understand, and the parents, that I coach pretty hard, to say the least.
No question. The basketball gym for you has always been that place to escape. How does Coeur d'Alene Lake, how has that become a haven for you to unwind and forget about the world and be there with your family?
Oh, it's been great. I bought the place 7 years ago. Everybody's familiar with it now. It kind of blew up as far as on the national scene with Gaza Ranch, a lot of celebrities. So I'm below that. I'm not a member at Gaza. Let me make that quite clear. That's a whole different ball of wax. It's beautiful up there, but yeah, it's a different social club than us regulars could get into, if you get what I'm saying. So yeah, we enjoy it. I'm lucky to get in when I got in, and it's a place for my family and friends of mine to go enjoy themselves and kind of unwind. And it was a blessing last year with the COVID stuff going on. When it first started, when it was scarier, you get what I'm saying,
Sure.
on how the media and just how it was, the fear that everybody had of it early on. We were able to go up there and disconnect a lot, which was a blessing in disguise.
How's your golf game?
Terrible. I used to play 60 rounds a year. I played 4 last year. I don't have time anymore, man. It's a sport you got to grind to get better, and I'm not going to go to the range and grind. So I'm not very good.
What was, when you look back at your playing career, what was the I was on top of the world moment for you? That
No,
one
that's
moment.
that's a good question, man. I think of just maybe the whole 06 season. There was a lot of press coverage, and I was, have a great season like that. We had a great season as a team. So yeah, I think towards the end of that, I won some Player of the Year awards. I won the Oscar Robinson Award. I won the Chevrolet one. I think I split the AP one. So those moments were good, and then there were some not so great moments in the NBA, and that's the beauty of sports, is it's going to be an ebb and flow. It teaches you different things. It provides character for you later in life, and you mentioned coaching earlier. That's what I try to provide for those girls. Like, hey, man, this game of basketball is a roller coaster, but it could teach you things and it could take you places that you never thought.
My final question, Adam Morrison is with us. I'm Bryan Fenley. What do you remember most about the kind words that Arron Afflalo said to you after the end of the 2006 season?
Oh, I mean, that was he was just like, hey man, you're one of the best players in college basketball, and you should be proud of yourself. And and so I've always respected that. Ryan Hollins was the same way, and I ended up being his teammate. So yeah, it's always funny how the basketball works like that. I ended up obviously being a teammate of Jordan Farmar. So like,
It all comes from
everybody, yeah, everything comes full circle. And to former players and pros, like, I guess that ending of that game wasn't as big as deal to guys like that. It's more outside of non-players, if that makes sense. They all understand the emotion of losing in that fashion. So yeah, like when I got to the league, like nobody ever gave me crap about that. You know what I mean? It was like, hey, you're my teammate now or whatever. So it was cool. But yeah, I've always respected him for being kind in that moment.
Adam, I've always respected you as being a role model. Be sure everybody listening and watching this, check out his podcast. If I'm not mistaken, Adam, every Wednesday, is that episodes are
Every
coming
Wednesday.
out?
Yeah, the Perimeter Podcast. It's on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Dash Radio, the Nothing But Net channel on that as well. We just got picked up with that, so it's been good. We've had 6 episodes so far. The next episode is Juliana Pena. It's got the Amanda Nunez fight. She's from Spokane, but she got the championship fight. Known her for years. We have a great conversation. I'm doing Chris Haynes tomorrow, Wednesday, and then I got John Stockton lined up next. So it's going to be a good, diverse guest list. So join it, listen to it if you like it.
Absolutely. You've also had in the past Mark Few, Joel Ayayi, and company. So a lot of interesting content that you've been out there. Adam, I used to live in Spokane. I'll leave you with this. I used to live on the South Hill from 2012 to 2014 with Creme 2. I worked for them. I appreciate you. I know you got to run. So grateful for your time, man. And I look forward to helping you get the word out with your podcast, and happy to see your success.
I appreciate that. And thank you for giving me a plug, man.